Hello students, in this session we'll discuss about data structures. This is the very first class of data structures, so we will be discussing about what is the meaning of data structure and what are the different types of data structures. What exactly is the meaning of data structure? First we'll see. A data structure, what is the purpose of data structure actually? For example, you have the concept of array, because when you have come up to data structure, then obviously it is a common thing that you may be having a knowledge of array. Now, what do you mean by an array? It is a collection of similar data elements, or it is a collection of data elements. We call that as an array. What do you mean by that? You have some data elements where you have collected together. You have some data elements which you have collected together. You have organized in a particular way. Suppose you have 5 elements in the array, being the first element at 0 in the memory, for example. Then the next element will be at the immediate next location. That is the way how data is organized in a array. If we talk about some other, like I may have a stack, I may have a queue or a linked list, etc., etc., data is organized in another way. So why exactly data structure is used, or what do you mean by a data structure? The basic thing. Now, coming to this, it is a way to store, organize data elements or data or information so that it will be easy for the user for retrieval purpose or to modify the data, etc. So, clearly speaking, a data structure can be a way to store, to manage the information or to organize the information in such a way that it will be efficiently used by the user whenever he wanted to access that data. It will be easy for him. Suppose he stored the data in his system in some or the other place and he don't know how to access it. It's not at all worthy, right? So it is a method, or it is a way, or it is a trick, I can say. It is a way to store your data, manage it in an organized way, store it in an organized way, so that when you try to retrieve the data back, you can get it back easily. You can search for an element easily, or you can search for something stored, that data or information, whatever is stored, easily. So the clear definition I can say is, it is a way or a method, I can say. It is a way to store, organize and manage the information, again I can say information or data also, in a way, in a particular way, in a way that allows the user, or a programmer, to easily access. I told you, to retrieve the data. What do you mean by retrieval? Whatever is stored inside, I wanted to retrieve back. Okay, so to easily access the data, or even to easily modify the values which are already given. Suppose I wanted to replace 5 by 10. Suppose I wanted to replace the value of 5 by 10. So I wanted to remove 5, I wanted to insert 10, for example. What did I do here? I did a modification here. Suppose I wanted to add a new element, or I wanted to access an element which is in the 10th position, or which is stored in some particular location. What am I doing there? I'm accessing the data, I'm retrieving the data back, right? So which allows the user or the programmer to easily access or modify the data stored in it. That is the basic definition of a data structure. So what did I say? It is a way to store, organize and manage data. Organizing means what? You are organizing it in a particular way. Okay. In the same way, to manage, like, see, when it comes to the turn of storage, you have to keep in mind the best way. maybe in terms of storage, maybe in terms of retrieval, anything it may be. So you have to take care of all these things. How much memory is it consuming, whether that much memory is enough for it or no, or are you giving some excess memory to it which may be wasting, etc., etc. All these things have to be considered. Okay, so a data structure is nothing but exactly it is a mechanism, or it is a way which will allow the user to store his data, to organize his data in an organized way. For example, take a simple example. I may be having a computer system where I need to store songs. Now, suppose what do? We'll create different folders in it, like sad songs or romantic songs, or like some joyful songs, etc., etc. We make different folders. What for? Because it will be easy for us to retrieve back. Isn't that can be a simple like for an understanding. I gave you that example. So here, why did you segregate? Why did you put it in an organized way? Why didn't you throw it as you wish? Why didn't you put all the songs in a particular file? No, you didn't. In a particular folder. No, you didn't. Why? Because when I wanted to retrieve it back, I need to search. To decrease that work, what did I do? I have put them in separate files. I organize them in separate files or folders. The same thing stands here also. We need to store data in such an efficient way that when I wanted to get the data back from it, I should be able to give it, or I should be able to get my data back in that efficient way and in an easy way, not in a complicated way. I want to get my data as it is, as I have stored. I want to get it as it is. Now, what are the goals of data structure? The next concept we talk about is the goal of data structure. The goal of data structure. The very first thing we talk about is the main thing. The main thing what it does is it will store data. Simple. To store data is the first goal. To store data or information. To store data or information is the very first goal of any data structure. Coming to next thing is to access and manipulate the stored data in an efficient way, right? So, the second one is to access and modify. To access and modify the stored data in an efficient way, right? In an efficient and effective. Efficient and effective way, right? The time counts here, the amount of memory consumed here, etc., etc. Everything comes into consideration. So these two are the goals of any data structure, right? Now, coming to the next thing. Where exactly are we using these data structures in our daily life, for example? So nowadays, everybody has a mobile in your hand. We use Google Maps. That is one implementation of data structure. For example, we have spell checking. That is one more implementation. Or you may be having some text searching and all. When you are searching in Google, suppose you open the Google page, you are searching for something, you get or some text checking, etc. Even that also is one of a kind of data structure only. Implementation of data structure, of course, an advanced way of data structure only. A simple method can be spell checking, for example. A basic data structure is used there, right? When you come to Google Maps and all, complicated data structures are used there, or even our dictionaries, what we see, etc. They are all complicated data structures where data is stored, data is organized. For example, I wanted to get the meaning of a particular word. I have given just the word and pressed enter. It is giving me the answer. It is giving me the meaning of it. How is it possible? Because data is organized in such a way that whenever you give that word, whatever, its combination will be checked. That will be checked. How and all? That is again the risk of the programmer, how good he wrote, how good he organized the data in that data structure so that it is easy for the user or easy for the programmer to retrieve the data back. Okay. Now, coming to the next topic of it is what are the different data type with different data structures we have. What are the different data structures we have? Now, before talking to this, let me tell you one thing. We are till now aware of arrays or linked list, etc. Now, before that, before an array, we are still aware of primitive data structures. We are still aware of, after learning these primitive data structures only, arrays came into picture, right? Now, data structures are actually divided or classified into two types. Now, what are they? They are the primitive data structures, the primitive data structures, and the non-primitive data structures. Non-primitive, data structures. Now the question is, what do you mean by a primitive data structure or a non-primitive data structure? The primitive data structures are actually the integer data type or the floating point data type or a character data type, where the data itself, the single data item itself, is a complete one, where you don't need to have a combination of different elements. For example, if I talk about array, I say that it is a combination of different data elements of the same type, for example, in some programming languages, right? So I say that array is a collection of homogeneous data elements, or right? So what is that? It is actually combination of different elements. But when I talk about a primitive data structure, it is just a single element, right? Now this single data element may be an integer data type, maybe a floating point data type, or maybe a character data type. So coming to a primitive data type, they may be integer data type or integer data structure. I can give you an example. Suppose 34 is an integer, 2 is an integer, 100 is an integer, right? Coming to another one, that is a floating point data structure. I say 3.2 is a floating point data, or I may have 1.5, it is a floating point data, or I also have character type of data structure. Character type of data structure. So what can be example here? A single character. For example, I may take A, I may take a star, asterisk mark, I may take a question mark, or I may take some X, etc. All these come under character type of data, as every programmer know these basics. Okay. Till now, what did we say them is basic data types or built-in data types, etc., etc. Now what did I say? I say them as a primitive data structure. Now coming to the other side, non-primitive data structure, it is a combination of different primitive data structures. A non-primitive data structure is a group of or a collection of primitive data structures. Now what do you mean by that? I can tell you in another way. A non-primitive data structure is derived from primitive data structure. I hope now you can get it better. For example, we were talking about derived data types when we were talking about what are the different data types in C language. I'm giving the example of C language because most of the programmers are pretty well aware of C language basics. Now, when I talk about derived data type, what did I say? They are the data types. They are the data types which are derived from the existing data type, nothing but integer, character, floating point, etc. So, you are deriving them from something else. The best example we can give is an array or a string, isn't it? Same thing here. In non-primitive data type, we have arrays, we have trees, or we have stacks, queues, etc., etc. But still here there is a segregation. Now, what is all that? They come under linear data structure and non-linear data structure. They come under linear and non-linear data structure. This is only this much. primitive data structure. Coming to non-primitive, again it is divided as linear and non-linear data structure. Now, what do you mean by linear? In an order. Linear means in an order, in a particular order, one after the other. Example, right? Now, in this case, the different examples can be, or the different kinds of data structures may be. The very first and basic one is the array. Arrays come under linear data structure, where if you consider the representation of an array, what do we see? We see something like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on, right? So here data is stored in an organized array. Suppose if I say this is an integer type of array, then each block is going to hold 2 bytes of memory, and each element stored in it is also holding 2 bytes of memory. I'm talking about memory representation. So if you see here, data is stored in a ordered way, in a particular order, in a sequence, right? So such type of data structure comes under linear data structure. Coming to the next one, this side is a stack. Again, let us take a daily life example. Suppose I have a pile of plates, or I have a stack of plates. What is it? Again, they are stored one after the other. If I say a stack of plates, they are not scattered here and there. They are one above the other, isn't it? So that is said to be a stack, where data, suppose if we take plates as a data is stored in a particular order. How? One above the other, one after the other, in a linear way. In the same way, we can talk about queue here, or even a linked list here. Linked list here. When we talk about linked list, we also discuss about circular linked list or double-ended, circular linked list, sorry. So that topic in detail we will discuss when we are talking about linked list concept. Now, coming to the other side, non-linear means what? Data is not in a particular order. It is not one after the other. Okay. Now, what comes here? For example, take this as an example. If you see here, the data is not stored in a particular order. The data is not stored in a particular order, but of course it is connected, but it is not stored in a particular order. I can't say that after 1, 2 will come, after 2, 3 will come, or after 3, 4 will come. No, I'm not sure about it. How is it, right? So such type of organization of data is said to be a non-linear data structure. Now the examples, or we use these for trees, or for graphs, for tables, etc., etc., right? So a graph, for example, I may say that for example, this is a graph where no data is not organized. From the first node I may go to the second, from second I may go to fourth or third, who knows, isn't it? Depending on the requirement I may make the next move. Whereas in an array, when you are in the first, second, third, fourth, or it's same thing with the linked list also, right? Now coming to fine, that's it. Almost all topics are covered, right? So this is the basic introduction of a data structure and different types of data structure. In the next class, we will not discuss about these primitive data types or the primitive data structures, because every programmer is pretty well aware of what are these primitive data types, or what is the memory capacity they are taking, or what is the size they are taking, what type of data are they taking, etc., etc. Everybody is aware. Being a programmer, of course, that is the basic thing we know. When we know this, then only we are entering here, right? So in the next class, we'll discuss the linear data structures first. Once we are done with linear data structures, then we'll move on to non-linear data structures. Hope today's class was clear. This is one of the important questions in exam point of view also. So I hope today's class is clear. Thank you.